Hi, and welcome to My Thoughts On, a safe space for communicating and sharing thoughts and feelings about various topics of interest. I happened upon the term today, the term exhaustion overload. I mean, how many of you can relate to that word in regards to how you have felt at certain times, particularly when confronting and dealing with situations that have gone on for a long time, chronic um, ailments, um, working with, I want to say working with children that have challenges, but to be perfectly honest, raising children, period. Um, Especially if you have a number of children. I'm not talking necessarily about one child, but once you have two, three, four, I I was working with someone who has six, children, and I'm sure everybody's got stories of parents and people who had a whole lot more children than that. But raising, children has that term, even if you didn't know the term, even if we didn't have the term, does that term help to describe the feelings of when we've gone past the point of just exhaustion? In the field that I work in, which I assist children with behavioral challenges, we spend a good deal of time uh, assisting parents. I'm going to say parents. Very often I say mothers because I happen to work with mothers, but there are a lot of fathers out there doing their part as well. I'm so happy to be able to report that there are fathers out there who are kicking in, and you know what I'm talking about for those moms who have to deal with doing it all alone. But there are fathers out there kicking in. But we know that over time, no matter how positive we want to be, no matter how good we want to be, we hit those times when uh, it gets the most of us. Now that's exhaustion. That's working and taking care of a child and coming back home. That's exhaustion. But exhaustion overload, just the name itself tells you that we're talking about something a little bit more critical. And my thoughts have been on what we can do to avoid getting to exhaustion overload. There's so many things we can, get into exhaustion overload. I'm not going to touch upon the issues, the different issues. You look at your day-to-day functioning. I'm looking at the day-to-day function of myself and of the families that I work with. And I'm telling you, I could write a book just on the exhaustions that the things that lead to exhaustion. I'm reminded of the statement, perhaps some of you have heard this, that by the time you are diagnosed with dehydration, by the time you are feeling thirsty, you've already been dehydrated. You've already been dehydrated because by the time we're seeing the symptoms, the body has already been without water longer than it should have been. We also have the saying, you've heard the statement that when you're on a plane, to if you need oxygen, they say it all the time. The flight attendants, when they give that little spiel, safety spiel in the beginning, and they say, to put the oxygen on your face first. And that is so that you can be in a position to help the child who's going to need your help, or the person that's going to need your help. So put the mask on. But so often we don't think that way. We think, particularly moms, always put everybody first, serve everybody first, do everything for everybody first, and then at the end, whatever I have left over, then the mom does it for herself. Well, we all know the problem with that, okay? We can't give what we don't have. And if we are depleted, if we are exhausted to the point of overload, we can't help and support the very people that we are doing all this for and wanting to help and support. So we have to carve out time and space for the person, for you, for the individual, in order for you to better navigate through all the things that you have to do in helping others, so that we don't reach the point of exhaustion, overload. Now, I heard the term used, exhaustion, overload, looking at a video on narcissism. I'm not trying to discuss narcissism or have any statements about the fact that it's narcissism. It was just the word exhaustion, overload that caught my attention, because while, yes, a person can be exhausted, have exhaustion, overload for narcissism, and all of the information that was given on that video about that, I realized, just like extended length of time of encountering narcissistic person after narcissistic person and having to navigate, deal with that. Well, that can apply to so many things in life. Now, my babies, my children, who we need energy for and help, we want to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves and doing all of that self-care, which I'm going to talk about on another video. But suffice it to know, self-care. And one of the number one things that I want to say on this video, particularly to my moms who are exhausted, and my teachers, although teachers, you're on your break right now, but that's why I'm going to bring it up, is the moms, we don't have this break right now. They're still there. And many of my teachers are moms, so they don't get that break either. But we must take our breaks. That's what this is about. My thoughts today are about the necessary breaks. In some cases, it can be as small as the little breaks that we give our little kiddos. But in other cases, mom, a walk down the hall is not necessarily going to do it for you. So start with backing off. Start with taking that little walk down the hall. Start with breathing before you say what it is you want to say to that child when the child is acting out. You know what you want to say. Ain't the best thing, is not, correct my English, is not the best thing to say. You want to take those steps back. You want to breathe. You want to count. You want to go to that happy space, whatever it takes to function in a safe and positive manner for yourself and for those children at that particular given time. But we also have to take those long, what we call respite breaks. We gotta figure out, and I know that's such a hard, it's a difficult thing for moms, particularly moms who are doing it on their own, because where do you find the time? How do you do it if, you don't have someone who can take and watch over the children? Respite is just that time where you're not having to uh, navigate through the challenges. In plain words, you don't have to be bothered right now with the kids. Okay, it's a time and a space to have that lengthy break from the stressors of everyday life. Everyday life, meeting the everyday challenges that we have to navigate through to function. So, my simple one sentence word statement for this time and space is find a way. I know you get to the point where, but I can't. I don't have any more energy. I don't have any more time. Have no more time for something else. Decide on what thing is going to go, what thing is going to wait, so that you can have that break, so that you can renew yourself, so that you can get more than just sleep at night. You want that too. For exhaustion, you want to get a good night's sleep, but you want even more for that exhaustion overload. Find a space that you can talk and talk about the fact that you're feeling overwhelmed, overloaded. Say it, get it out. Sometimes even just saying it is 1 inch of relief off of your shoulders. No, it doesn't solve the problem. No, it doesn't make everything okay, but it gives you an outlet. Venting, we might call it. It gives you an outlet to release, to get the edge, to take the edge off, so that we make the best possible decisions when interacting, particularly with our children. But this can go for anybody in your home. This can go for your coworkers. This can go for anywhere you're out existing in life where your exhaustion will affect how you respond, interact, and communicate with others. Have a good day. Stay tuned for my next talk on one of the chapters of The Life You Want. This is Oprah's book, The Life You Want. I will be discussing one of the chapters here, which is Find the Hidden Fear. Find the hidden fear. See you next time and have a fabulous day.